Hi, I'm Chef Owen Tilley. I'd like to welcome you back to Ask the Chef. Now this week's installment, we have a question that comes from Nancy. Nancy's one of our Facebook friends, and she's throwing a clam bake this season and wants to know a fun and interesting side that she can serve with it. Now, if you're doing a traditional clam bake, you're going to already have potatoes and corn in with the seafood that you're steaming. So on the side, I want you to try this recipe, a creamy broccoli slaw that's guaranteed to please everyone at the party. Really simple to do, so let's get started. Now for the dressing, you're going to need just a few ingredients. We have some yogurt here, and I personally like to use Greek yogurt because the Greek yogurt is yogurt that's been strained to remove extra water, and that'll keep you from having a soupy slaw. So we're going to add that into the bowl first. Next, I have a couple of tablespoons of mayonnaise, and that'll go right in as well. All right. Next, we have a couple of teaspoons of spicy mustard, and that's the spicy brown mustard that you get at the store, and this is going to give us a little zip. Now we're going to finish it off with just a shot of fresh lemon juice and a pinch of salt. All right, now I'm just going to combine all of these for a little while. There we go, nice and smooth. And remember, when you're using salt, you want to just add a little bit first and then taste it to see if it's at the level that you want. Because you can always add, but you can't always subtract. Just right for me. So now that this is creamy and ready to go, let's go to the bulk of the product, which is our broccoli. Now what I've done is I took broccoli stems, about 1.5 pounds, and I shredded them in my food processor. Now the broccoli stems, normally you just throw it away. So this really is a low cost offering, but honestly, if you don't have the time or you don't really feel like doing it, you can always buy broccoli slaw pre-prepared as far as the shredding goes in your grocery store in the prepared produce section. Now they'll add in a little bit of purple cabbage, maybe a little bit of carrot to give it some color, but it's available and it's out there, and it's a big time saver as well. So in the bowl, I have those shredded broccoli stems. I've also taken a couple of carrots and shredded those up as well, and I'm just going to add those in. Now, I've washed my hands, so I'm comfortable sticking them in and mixing. But remember, anytime that you're making anything that's ready to eat or that's not going to be cooked, be really, really careful about washing your hands and make sure you clean them. Because without a cooking process, you're not going to kill anything. So if you have your hands in chicken and then you put it in here, you're probably going to give someone salmonella and make them sick, which never is good for a party. So now that I've mixed that pretty well, you can see the great colors that are in there. Now comes the easy part. We're going to take our dressing and add it in. Now I like to add about half to start. And the reason being is sometimes depending on the moisture level of the vegetables, it's going to make it a little soupy if you put too much slaw dressing. And remember, soupy slaw is just really not good for anyone. So, like I said, I'm going to add about half of it in here. Now let's take a spoon, or you can take a pair of tongs, or if you have clean hands, you can use your hands. But this is a little messy, so I wouldn't advise using your hands. Oops. So let's give it a good stir here. All right. And there we go. Now, you can make this a day ahead of time, but I always advise people to dress it at the last minute just to make sure that the slaw comes out perfect like you like it. And like I said, soupy slaw isn't good for anyone. So, as you can see, here we go. Full of color and full of flavors. But I'm not done yet. The last thing I want you to do is to take some sunflower kernels and sprinkle them in over the top. Now, don't use sunflower seeds that still have the husk on them, or you're going to have a mouthful of mess. You want to make sure you use the peeled sunflower kernels. And this will give it just a little bit of extra texture and a little bit of health benefit from the sunflower kernels. And there you go, a creamy broccoli slaw. Didn't take much, and it's guaranteed to please everyone. So, I want you to try this if you're doing a clam bake this summer, and encourage you to log on to the blog and tell me what your experience was. And remember, you keep asking, I'll keep cooking.